In August 1995, German writer Ende's life came to an end at age 65. He was loved by readers worldwide. Mourning his death, German President Roman Herzog sent a sincere message that there is not a single German in this age who does not remember growing up with the books of Ende. With the rapid development of natural science and technology in our modern society, people have become dazzled by materialism. Ende raised the issue that because of this materialism, people may lose sight of the true richness of spirit and the joy of living in the present world. His well-known work, Momo, has been translated into more than 30 languages. As one of the best-selling books in the world, with over 6 million copies in print, Momo is a favorite of all ages of readers. Ende worked in a wide range of genres, including fantasy, opera, poetry, and essays. Ende narrated a special program featuring Albert Einstein and science on Japan Broadcasting Corporation, NHK, and insisted that absolute truth is found not only in science, but also in the spirits of human beings.
ドイツには古くから金を出す者が命じるということわざがあります。現代の技術や科学は軍事のためには国家から、経済的な利益のためには企業から金を受け取ります。そこで研究は知らず知らず特定の方向に推し進められてしまうのです。ここ数十年は特に恐ろしいスピードで科学と技術を変えています。
In 1994, the year prior to his death, Ende suggested a new project to NHK, focusing on the modern currency system. He brought up the issue that money is the origin of various problems in the modern world, such as environmental destruction, poverty, war, and the desolation of the human spirit. At the time of the discussion, NHK taped Ende talking for 2 hours.
Das ist die entscheidende Frage, meine ich, von der abhängen wird, ob die Menschheit weiter existieren kann auf diesem Planeten. Meine Überlegungen laufen dahin, dass ich sage, was muss an dem Geldsystem geändert werden, damit es wieder ein tatsächliches Äquivalent für Arbeitsleistung und zwar für die tatsächliche Arbeitsleistung, nicht die von Maschinen. Damit es ein Äquivalent für Arbeitsleistung und für Sachwerte, also für Ware wird. Das ist die entscheidende Frage, meine ich, von der abhängen wird, ob die Menschheit weiter existieren kann auf diesem Planeten oder nicht. Ich glaube, ein wichtiger Punkt, den man von vornherein bedenken muss, ist, dass Kaufgeld und Kapital zwei ganz verschiedene Geldarten sind. Das Geld, von dem ich mir ein Laib Brot kaufe beim Bäcker, ist ein ganz anderes Geld als das, was als großes Kapital auf den Börsen gehandelt wird.
According to Ende, money has several different functions that contradict each other and create problems. Money was first developed as a measure of exchange for goods and labor. It also functions as property or assets. Thus used, money is saved and does not circulate. Furthermore, money can function as capital, which is exchanged through banks and the stock market. In this exchange, money itself becomes the commodity or the object of speculation. Money, which can take the shape of as many bills as can be printed, or of figures running around a computer screen, moves about the world without substance. Modern currency is forced to have completely different functions at the same time. This currency changes shape every day and moves around the world, creating confusion both in the lives of people at home and at work. At the International Youth Library in the suburbs of Munich, material and data regarding juvenile literature are collected from all over the world. A portion of the material from Ende's collection is kept here. In this part of the library, Mikael Ende's personal book collection lines the shelves. This collection includes books and documents on money. One of the books is Money and Growth, written by Swiss economist Hans-Christoph Binswanger. Professor Binswanger attributes the fact that the economy is destined to grow and multiply continuously to the existence of interest. He met Ende several times to discuss money.
Wir haben uns eigentlich da getroffen in der Vorstellung und der Erkenntnis, dass die heutige Geldwirtschaft eine Art Alchemie darstellt. Eine Alchemie, die aus der Natur, aus dem Blei, wie es früher hieß, eben Gold macht, das heißt heute Geld macht und die Natur dann eigentlich in Geldwerte verwandelt. Die Problematik, die sich daraus ergibt, die sich dann in einer Selbstvermehrung und einer Selbstverzehrung aber auch resultiert. Und da haben wir gesehen, dass das fast eine Art mystischen Charakter hat, eben einen alchemistischen Charakter. Und dass dies sowohl eine wirtschaftliche als auch eine moralische, eine fast religiöse Frage ist.
Another book in Ende's collection is Interest and Inflation-Free Money. Professor Margrit Kennedy, author and architect, has come to the conclusion that architecture, which does not harm the environment, is not cost-effective. Dr. Kennedy feels everything is dominated by money, and she has started to think about the issue of the money system.
Gleichzeitig auch ein zusätzlicher Lebensraum. Also das exponentielle Wachstum kommt über kurz oder lang, also meistens nach 2 Generationen, in eine Phase, wo es zu einem entweder wirtschaftlichen, ökonomischen oder ökologischen Zusammenbruch führt. Und das ist sozusagen die Grundproblematik und das hat nichts mit Glauben zu tun. Das kann jeder mathematisch auf seinem Computer nachrechnen, wie lange es gut gehen kann. Und auf der anderen Seite stehen natürlich die Guthabenbesitzer, tun von diesem System einige wenige, 1% der Bevölkerung. In Amerika besitzt heute mehr als die anderen 99%. Und das ist in Deutschland über kurz oder lang genauso. Das heißt, auf der einen Seite, der Staat wird immer ärmer und einige wenige profitieren übermäßig von dem System.
In allen älteren Kulturstätten der Welt stand im Mittelpunkt der Tempel. Von dort ging eigentlich die Ordnung des Lebens aus, oder die Kirche oder der Dom. Heute steht im Mittelpunkt jeder Großstadt das Bankgebäude. Ich habe ja versucht, das in meinem Rattenfänger durchaus zu schildern, indem ich das als eine Art Dämonenkult geschildert habe, wo das Geld angebetet wird wie etwas Heiliges. Und dort wird sogar expressis verbis gesagt, es ist Gott. Es tut Wunder, denn die Vermehrung des Geldes selbst ist ja ein Wunder. Das ist ja eine wunderbare Geldvermehrung, um die es sich da handelt. Und es hat diesen Charakter des Unvergänglichen. Was rein menschliche Schöpfung ist, dann ist es das Geld. Nur, und deswegen wäre eine historische Betrachtung sehr wichtig, wie ist es eigentlich dazu gekommen?
The Death Dance of Hamlin, an opera featuring money as an eternal evil, is Ende's final work. Wilfried is the composer of The Death Dance of Hamlin and other operas by Ende. In the underground of the medieval city of Hamlin lives a monster called the Great Mouse King, who is secretly worshipped by the rich and ruling class of the city. Whenever the Mouse King excretes money, he creates the shadow of death and threatens people and nature. With this work, Ende tried to create a new interpretation of the famous legend of Hamelin and show the inhuman nature of capitalism in which money creates money.
Michael Ende sagte nun damals, was mache ich nun? Warum gibt es diese Pest in Hameln? Warum gibt es Ratten in Hameln? Und er hat dann eben einen Trick gewählt, den er dann gefunden hat, als wir an der Oper arbeiteten. Und dieser Trick war eben der Rattenkönig. Der Rattenkönig, der immer dann Geld scheißt, wenn um die Stadt Hameln herum etwas stirbt. Ein Grashalm, wenn ein Kind stirbt, wenn ein Baum zugrunde geht und so weiter und so weiter. Und in diese elende Gegend, die völlig hoffnungslos ist, kommt nun dieser Rattenfänger, um die jungen Kinder, um diese Menschen zu befreien. Und das war für mich etwas, und was auch für Michael eben sehr, sehr wichtig war. Michael konnte ja eigentlich nicht schreiben, was ohne Hoffnung war. Also das heißt, er brauchte diesen hoffnungslosen Ausgang, nicht, dass die Kinder in den Kalvarienberg gehen und umkommen, sondern er führte sie in ein anderes Reich. Und das war für mich eben das ganz, ganz Wichtige, dass der Rattenfänger sozusagen wie eine Lichtgestalt kommt. Und das ist eben das, was mich so fasziniert hat. Auf der einen Seite die ganz, ganz aktuelle Situation, die über den Umgang des Menschen mit dem Geld, über die Korruption, und auf der anderen Seite, dass es Hoffnung gibt, und in diese Hoffnung steckt eben in den Kindern. Und das war für uns eben das Entscheidende.
In the Death Dance of Hamelin, Ende symbolically expresses his belief that money is fully corrupt and that children are the hope for the future. In the NHK taping, Ende also leaves a concrete example for a new economic system. He describes an Austrian experiment with currency, which took place in the 1930s.
Ich weiß nur, dass es angefangen von Silvio Gesell, der einer der ersten war, die sich darüber den Kopf zerbrochen haben. Das war ein Mann aus der Räterepublik in Bayern, kurz nach dem Ersten Weltkrieg, der zum Beispiel die These aufgestellt hat, Geld muss altern können. Und er sagte, es muss so eingerichtet werden, dass das Geld ebenso am Ende des Wirtschaftsprozesses wieder verschwindet. Also, um in einem Vergleich zu sprechen, so wie das Blut an einer Stelle des Organismus erzeugt wird, im Knochenmark, dann seine Aufgabe der Ernährung des Organismus dient, indem es in alle Organe, in den ganzen Körper die Nährstoffe trägt, und am Schluss altert es und wird ausgeschieden.
Silvio Gesell was an unconventional economist who sought to know the true nature of money. He was born in 1862 in Germany. At the age of 24, he moved to Argentina and became successful as an entrepreneur. At that time, the economic policies of South American countries were in total chaos. Argentina experienced inflation and deflation repeatedly. Accordingly, the way of life in Argentina was about to break down. Gesell thought that a currency system and social order were deeply interrelated. Gesell moved to Switzerland in 1900. During World War I, he published a book entitled The Natural Economic Order, in which he criticized the existing political parties, saying that they only asserted empty ideologies and did not have any concrete economic principles. Gesell then proposed his new concept of free money. Later, economist John Maynard Keynes stated in his The General Theory of Employment, Interest, and Money that he believes that the future will learn more from the spirit of Gesell than from that of Marx. Tyrol, Austria. The influence of the Great Depression, which began in 1929, cast its shadow over the district. In the 1930s, by the brave decision of the mayor of Wörgl, a town located close to the German border, Gesell's theory of free money was put into action. Even though Wörgl had prospered because of its transfer station for Switzerland, Vienna, and Germany, the Great Depression brought serious recession to this small Austrian town. Production became stagnant, and unemployed people were found everywhere. The population of Wörgl at that time was a little less than 5,000, while the number of unemployed reached over 400. Income from taxes dropped sharply, and the town's debt grew. Wörgl was facing financial ruin. Mikhail Unterguggenberger, the mayor at that time, attributed the economic breakdown to the stagnation of money. Currency was saved and not circulated. If money does not circulate, the number of unemployed will increase, production will decrease, and consumption will slow down. To improve the situation, the mayor decided to introduce Gesell's idea of free money. In July 1932, with the agreement of the Municipal Assembly, the town decided to issue local currency, which was only valid in that town. This action started new businesses, created work for the unemployed, and paid money with the new local currency called labor certificates. A declaration was printed on the reverse side of these bills.
An alle. Langsam umlaufendes Geld hat die Welt in eine unerhörte Wirtschaftskrise und Millionen schaffender Menschen in unsägliche Not gestürzt. Der Leistungsaustausch muss daher wieder gehoben und der Lebensraum für alle bereits Ausgestoßenen wieder zurückgewonnen werden. Diesem Ziele dient der Arbeitsbestätigungsschein der Marktgemeinde Wörgl. Er lindert die Not, gibt Arbeit und Brot.
The town constructed roads and public institutions and made payments to the unemployed using the local currency. A miracle happened. The local currency, which was initially paid as salaries, rapidly started to circulate throughout the town. By circulating, money performs economic activities several times larger than its value. The town's income from taxes, which had been stagnant, started to increase steadily. The secret of rapid circulation lay in stamps pasted on the reverse side of the bills. At the beginning of every month, a consumer had to purchase a stamp costing 1% of the face value of the bill and paste it to the bill. In other words, the value of the money decreased if it was not used. Accordingly, those who possessed this bill had to use this money first. In this way, these labor certificates started to circulate one after another. The money now had the function of promoting economic activities. This money, created by Gesell, was epoch-making, since it decreased in value as time went by. The money was never saved, but continuously circulated. This local money was paid as salaries to public servants and gradually became accepted by banks. Influenced by this success, the town's neighboring Wörgl started to consider the adoption of a local currency of their own, which could be used in conjunction with the Austrian shilling. However, the Austrian government banned the free money, claiming that issuing money was the exclusive right of the United Bank. In September 1933, this globally unprecedented experiment with money was put to an end, having survived only 13 months. The Great Depression in 1929, which spread throughout the world, was triggered by the crash of the stock market on Wall Street in New York. In the United States, banks were closed and unemployed people filled the streets. This crash was the first real crisis for capitalism. It was also a turning point toward communism and totalitarianism in the world. In the 1930s, during the Great Depression, different varieties of local currency were issued all over America. Municipal bodies of states, cities, towns, and villages, companies and labor unions started to issue their own currencies, which circulated within a limited area. Over 3,000 kinds of autonomous currencies were issued at that time. The essence of Gesell's free money theory is that this currency decreases in value as time goes by and requires payment of a charge after a certain period of time. However, Americans were more attracted to the idea of being able to issue a currency by themselves. In the United States, for more than 30 years, futurologist Hazel Henderson has made an effort to search for a variety of possibilities which lie in an economic system. Henderson thinks the clue to understanding the chaos of modern society lies in analyzing what happened in the 1930s.
There were these thousands and thousands of currencies from every little town and village in the U.S. Made their own money. And companies paid their employees with these kind of Scrip currencies, as they're called, and associations of unemployed workers put out their own currencies. And so these currencies circulated in the local communities, and it's a way of meeting the needs of people without going outside the system. All of the New Deal agencies began to put money back into local communities. There was the Civilian Conservation Corps, and that gave money to local groups to clean up the environment, to do art projects, to build buildings, about you know, community affairs, museums, all over this country. In the Roosevelt administration put this money out to restore jobs in the local communities. And so that was one of the reasons why the local currencies became less important, because also people had faith that the government cared about them and had all these programs to pump prime, you know, the local economy. And so that was why they became less important. But now they are really needed again, because I think for many years the national governments are not going to know how to control this global casino.
Nothing to be frightened of here.
Ende wrote Momo in 1973. Momo is a girl who appears out of nowhere and has a strange power. By listening intently to what people are saying, she is able to make them find themselves. One day, men in gray appear to people who are poor in material wealth, but rich in mind.
Time is money.
The men in gray persuade the people to save their time instead of using it to enjoy life. Saving time and depositing it in the time-saving bank results in interest. Because this interest creates interest, a person can potentially have 10 times the amount of an actual lifetime to live. In this way, the men in gray deprive the people not only of their time, but also of the irreplaceable joy which gives their lives meaning.
I can't do this!
Money is a strange commodity, since people sometimes do not become richer, no matter how hard they work. Ende already had proposed the issue of money as the underlying theme in Momo, which is a fable about modern society.
Wonderful, it really works.
Werner Onken, a German ecological economist, was one of those who noticed Ende's suggestion about money. He found value in long-forgotten books of Silvio Gesell and took 10 years to edit and publish them as a complete work. In 1986, Onken read Ende's Momo. In this book, Momo walks backward on Never Lane. He saw that this action of Momo's symbolizes the theory of free money, which decreases in value as time passes. He wrote an article based on this discovery. Further, Onken wrote to Ende to confirm whether or not his interpretation was correct.
Übrigens sind Sie bis jetzt der Erste, der bemerkt hat, dass die Idee des alternden Geldes im Hintergrund meines Buches Momo steht. Gerade mit diesem Gedanken von Steiner und Gesell habe ich mich in den letzten Jahren intensiver beschäftigt, da ich zu der Ansicht gelangt bin, dass unsere ganze Kulturfrage nicht gelöst werden kann, ohne dass zugleich oder vorher sogar die Geldfrage gelöst wird. Das war der Brief von Michael Ende, den ich damals bekommen habe. Ich habe mich riesig gefreut, dass ich mit meiner Vermutung auch richtig lag und dass Herr Ende auch dieses Ziel anstrebt, das Geld zu reformieren. Dann habe ich anschließend den Aufsatz in dieser Zeitschrift Fragen der Freiheit veröffentlicht. Und das hat auch sehr geholfen, also Menschen, die literarisch interessiert sind und Ende kennen, solchen Menschen diesen Aufsatz zu geben und dann wieder Verständnis für diesen Geldreformgedanken zu wecken.
Free money circulates within a society as blood does in a body, leading people to retrieve the joy and meaning of life. As Ende symbolically depicted money which goes around, the image of a money-go-round has been vividly etched as the original role of money into the minds of people. People started searching for a totally new economic system and society. A trial method to get back true time, which is lost in the conventional economic monetary system, has started in a small town in America. The town of Ithaca, New York, issues a currency called Itaca hours. The following words are printed on the bills under the slogan, "Time is money." Itaca hours are backed by real capital, our skills, our muscles, our tools, forests, fields, and rivers. Ithaca is a college town for Ivy League Cornell University and has a population of 30,000. Let's see how the town uses this new currency. This grocery, a cooperative market operated by 3,500 members, accepts payment by Itaca hours. Ithaca is a rich agricultural area. This grocery mainly buys food and agricultural products from local producers. At the cash register, people use Itaca hours just as they use US dollars.
So $32.96. Okay. So like half hour or 2/4?
2/4.
Okay, thank you.
1/8 of an hour. I don't support a lot of things that the U.S. government does with their money, and greatly the foreign policy and what they're doing overseas. I don't support a lot of what they do.
This local currency in Ithaca is issued by a non-profit organization, the Ithaca Hours Committee. The members of the committee are elected from the community and work as volunteers to issue, administer, and advertise the currency. Ithaca hours were first issued in 1991. At that time, the local community was suffering from a serious economic recession, and the number of unemployed kept rising. By issuing a currency only valid within the community, the town tried to promote employment and create new businesses.
Full of people who need more money and need more control over what money does.
The designs of the issued bills are all original. 1 Ithaca hour is equivalent to 10 US dollars. 3 years ago, the American Federal Bank accepted this currency as legal money.
We can print as much as we like, but the system is governed by very strict rules on issuance, and it's the currency in circulation that matters. And there is a very formal process by which we issue currency. There are only 3 ways. Someone can send in a coupon, or ask for a loan, or ask for a grant. And that prevents us, well, if those are the rules we live by, then we can't simply print money and go shopping.
The committee issues a bi-monthly newspaper called Our Town. Those who wish to participate fill out an application on the back of the newspaper and send it to the committee with a $1 application fee. When people fill this out, they write down what they can do or what they have to sell. Submissions are printed in the next issue of the newspaper announcing participation in the Itaca Hours program. From that point, a person can start any business by using Itaca Hours. This local currency system was started 8 years ago with only 40 members. Now it has grown bigger, with its membership including not only individuals, but also more than 400 businesses and stores. Approximately $68,000 worth of Itaca Hours have been issued in the past 8 years. Since this currency does not create interest, it is in constant circulation and is said to have had the effect of injecting several $1 million into the economy. The Itaca Bakery, the biggest bakery in town, approved of this new system from the beginning and accepts payments by Itaca Hours. Now, at least 10 regular customers pay Itaca Hours at the bakery per day.
I think it benefits us as well as the community. I think to support the local community helps us as a business. Because if the money is leaving the community, it's no longer being spent or recirculated here. So we're not seeing them back. When we spend Itaca Hours, I'm very quickly seeing the hours come right back to us.
At present, banks have also come to accept the currency. Starting 4 years ago, the Alternatives Federal Credit Union willingly accepted Itaca Hours for various payments, including loan payments.
I want to use the Itaca Hours to pay my loan payment. That'll be fine.
The credit union pays Itaca Hours to local businesses and individuals for cleaning services, collecting recyclables, and maintaining computers.
Thank you.
Have a nice day.
Thank you.
So how much is Itaca Hours did you get?
$50.
Can I see it? Can we show this?
Yeah.
50?
How about if we show it this way?
5 hours?
5 hours.
Yeah.
I get them by trading, or usually by trading.
How do you trade?
Services.
What kind of service?
Acupuncture.
Oh, do you Is it useful?
Very useful, yeah.
How?
How? Because they're accepted almost everywhere in town now. And it's very nice knowing that you can barter for services for goods or services for services. Okay.
According to a representative of the local municipal assembly, the authorities recognize the value of Itaca Hours and support the system with a positive attitude.
We don't issue money, so there was no threat to us. I suppose if we were the federal bank, it would be more of a threat. Many people's reaction when Itaca Hours started was laughing. I mean, the idea of being able to print toy money in the basement was pretty funny. But when people understood that it was really a form of bartering, but with the trust of the community behind it, it became very widely accepted. So the government doesn't see this as a problem. It sees it as a way to sustain the local economy. If there were more people who used more Itaca Hours, then local businesses would be doing a lot better.
The suburbs of Itaca, compared to other areas, are known to have many small farms which conduct organic farming. The system which enables these farms to prosper is a support system in which people in the community pay farmers beforehand for their agricultural products. John Thorne and Tali Adini moved to Itaca from California to farm. They said they could buy seeds and farm equipment for this year's planting with money made possible by Ithaca's support system. Last year, supported by the investment of people in the local community, John and Tali got their first harvest, settled into the area, and sold organic vegetables and products. John and Tali now accept investment payments in Ithaca hours as well as in US dollars. A shopping center less than 20 miles from Ithaca.
Oh, you're gonna have a whole meal?
Something, I don't know.
This restaurant accepts Ithaca hours. Using Ithaca hours lets people feel that they are a part of the community of Ithaca.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Never had it before. Usually just other bagels.
It's true that we need to earn lots of money so we can spend lots of money. And when they talk about the gross national product or how the economy is doing, it's how much money have people spent. And so therefore you need to earn a lot of money. But we have met many people, and we ourselves believe that you can live a simpler life and have a very good quality of life. And I don't need to buy all those plastic toys, and I don't need a big car, you know.
On the Ithaca Hour bills, indigenous small animals, buildings, and items which symbolize the district are printed. These drawings express the attitude that this local currency is a part of everything living in the area. The Steve Smith family operates a dairy farm in the suburbs of Ithaca. They make a living by selling milk and handmade yogurt only to the people of Ithaca and its vicinity. On this family-operated farm, Ithaca hours are natural things to the children.
There's a farmer's market in Ithaca, and I've gone there. My mom and dad sell yogurt there, and so we use them. Almost all the vendors take Ithaca hours, and so we use them there. Well, over the summer I work at a bakery, and they pay me some Ithaca hours too. Sometimes I help you get the vegetables and fruit and all, and there's a lot of food that they make right there, and so I ate lunch there at the Ithaca hours.
The Smiths have 6 children, making a family of 8. Barbara Smith thinks that Ithaca hours are also useful in protecting the local environment.
In the sense of supporting local farmers, because if there are no, the farmers are taking care of the local land. And if they can't make money, if the local farmers can't make money, the land will either just not be used at all, or it's going to be bought up by large farms which are not making good use of the land, not taking care of the land. So yes, it definitely is connected to, to taking care of the local land.
Basically, to get this farm working and more fertile and make this a more beautiful spot and raise our children and give them all happy childhoods and help them to be whatever success they want to be. But as far as saving a lot of dollars and amassing wealth, that's not, we haven't been able to do it. I don't know how relevant this is, but I used to work for NASA, and I was making quite a bit of money. But I was working outside the house and commuting daily, and I wasn't really a part of the family. So we made the choice of giving up that lifestyle with a lot of income and working more as a family and just doing a small enterprise net.
Experiments resembling Itaca hours have spread to close to 70 communities in America.
Marx hat im Grunde, hat geglaubt, dass das Problem des Kapitalismus dadurch zu lösen wäre, dass man anstelle vieler Privatunternehmer einen einzigen Unternehmer setzt, nämlich den Staat. Aber der Hauptfehler von Marx war der, dass er eigentlich den Kapitalismus gar nicht ändern wollte, sondern er wollte den Kapitalismus nur dem Staat übergeben. Wir haben also in den beiden feindlichen Zwillingen, die wir in den letzten 50, 70 Jahren hatten, hatten wir eigentlich einen Staatskapitalismus und einen Privatkapitalismus. Wir hatten aber überhaupt keine nicht-kapitalistische Wirtschaftsordnung. Marxens großes Verdienst bleibt, meine ich, dass er Begriffe geschaffen hat, die eine Kritik des Wirtschaftslebens überhaupt ermöglichen.
Halle, a town which belongs to the former East Germany. After the collapse of the Berlin Wall and the unification of East and West Germany, a wave of new economic systems came surging upon the former East Germany. With the change in the political system, many citizens started a new life under the principle of capitalism. With the newly regained freedom and competition, many existing businesses went bankrupt and the unemployed filled the streets. A market in Halle at the present time. Compared to the times of former East Germany, things are plentiful in the town. How are the people of Halle accepting this challenge?
Was bedeutet die, oder was hat die Wende für die bedeutet? Oder?
Also für mich persönlich nichts unbedingt Bedeutendes. Es gab Bananen dann. Guckt mich an. Mehr Geld, mehr Möglichkeiten. Viele Arbeiten habe ich schon gemacht.
Wenn ich fleißig bin, kann ich mir alles leisten. Wenn ich hier auf der Bank sitze, wird nichts. Wenn ich trinke, wird auch nichts. Also muss ich immer schön arbeiten.
Ich habe zu DDR-Zeiten sehr wenig Geld gehabt. Das war für mich nie, also ich kam immer aus Verhältnissen, wo es nicht viel Geld gab, da war es nicht wichtig. Ja, von daher, es ist eine Einstellungssache, wie ich mit Geld umgehe. Benutze ich das als ein Einkaufsmittel und mache ich mich davon abhängig. Man muss von Geld nicht abhängig sein. Das ist die Gefahr in diesem Lande, dass man denkt, über Geld alles Glück der Welt sich kaufen zu können. Das ist Unfug.
2 years after the unification of Germany, a trial system to restructure the communities started in the town. This trial system is based on a new original economic unit, the döMak, which enables members to exchange goods and services in a logbook without using money. The whole system is called the barter circle. Let's see how this barter circle functions.
Ja, genau. Ich wollte erst mal fragen, ob ich das auf döMak machen kann.
Aber selbstverständlich kann man es auf döMak machen.
Das ist schön. Wie viel, wollen wir das schon vorher sagen?
Wie viel döMak?
Ja,
A member of the circle comes to a woodworking shop, which also belongs to the barter circle, to have her favorite wooden tray fixed. The barter circle does not issue money. Instead, the members hold logbooks, and whenever they barter goods or services, they determine the price and the fee each time and fill in the logbooks.
Möbelapotheke. Das Bauhofheft.
Today, the customer paid 15 döMaks for the work, and the negotiation was closed. She filled the figure, 15, in her logbook and deducted it from the previous total. In the woodworking shop's logbook, plus 15 was written. Finally, they signed each other's book for confirmation. döMaks yield no interest. The system of bartering labor and goods within the community should average a zero balance as a total. The barter circle now has 200 members. The members exchange various goods and services for döMaks. If the circle expands, members will enjoy more diversified services. Gertrud Stroba now visits a therapist after hearing that she can receive the counseling service using döMaks.
Ich bin die Frau Stroba. Ja, kommen Sie bitte mit. Und möchten gerne Lebensberatung.
Stroba lost the job she had in the former East Germany, and her relation to her family worsened. Looking for a place where she could gain peace of mind, she joined the barter circle, hoping to construct a new life.
Der hat sein eigenes Leben. Mein Sohn muss auch sehen, dass Geld verdient.
She paid 10 döMaks for the counseling service. Now that she has a negative balance in döMaks, she has to pay that amount to somebody else. A new relationship is born here. Having a negative balance proves that a person is a member of the community.
Für mich ist es wichtig, dass ich auch mit Menschen zusammenkomme. Nicht nur, ich gehe und kaufe mir was. In dem Falle, wenn ich jetzt döMak in Anspruch nehme oder selbst was biete, habe ich meist die Möglichkeit, mit Menschen Kontakt zu finden. Und das ist mir sehr, sehr wichtig. Nicht nur Geld, Geld, Geld. Immer dieses ewige Geld. Und das ist für mich das Schöne.
The administrative office of the döMak system opened to the young people in Halle. Martin Botch is now unemployed. However, he makes his living by being in the barter circle. He rented a room here 3 years ago and earns döMaks by doing work requested by other members.
Genau, und dafür, dass ich hier wohne, arbeite ich 20 Stunden als Gärtner, Hausmeister und Müllmann hier in der Villa. Ich arbeite allerdings dann auch noch 15 Stunden für die Essenpauschale. Das heißt, ich esse ja hier in der Villa auch mit. Ich spare also 2 wichtige Posten, nämlich Essen und Miete. Und das gibt mir natürlich eine große Freiheit, wirklich zu machen, was ich will.
Right now, Botch's logbook has a negative balance. However, this döMak debt is different from being in debt with usual money. Even if a minus is marked, it does not produce interest, so the debt never snowballs. Botch has tried everything possible to contribute to the system, and he has started to make homemade pasta to earn döMaks. Once a month, the barter circle has a meeting in a cafe in the city to exchange döMaks. The members bring handmade goods and things which they no longer need and trade with döMaks. A person who wants to become a member comes to visit. She is given an explanation about the system, pays 10 marks for her membership fee and logbook, and all procedures are complete. Now she can use döMaks at the site. Here are the opinions of the members.
Ich bin mit vielen Leuten zusammengekommen durch den Tauschring und habe dann dadurch jetzt Kontakte gefunden und Unternehmungen gemacht. Aber dass ich jetzt so gravierend was verändert hätte, bei mir dadurch nicht.
Eine Lebensrettung, also muss ich mal so sagen, weil für mich hat es keinen Platz gegeben so, wo ich so mich wohlgefühlt habe.
In Switzerland, a base for big banks, there is a concentration of money used as capital from all over the world. An economic circle, not for individuals but for small stores and businesses, has thrived there for more than 60 years. Wir Bank has 6 branches in Switzerland with a head office in Basel. Wir is the first syllable of the word Wirtschafts-Ring, which means business circle. Wir, we in German, means community. In 1934, in the midst of the Great Depression, stores and small businesses in Switzerland created a new economic system. Separate from Swiss francs, they made a unique unit without interest called Wir and operated transactions. Though this system was born from Gesell's theory, it stopped the issue of the actual bills and limited the transaction only within the units Wir. The operation as a whole is conducted by the Wir Bank, and there are members throughout the country. Now, the Wir Economic Circle Cooperative is deeply rooted in the Swiss economy as a network of solidarity and includes 76,000 Swiss businesses, which make up 17% of all businesses in the country. Hans Gronsmann, a member of the Wir Economic Circle Cooperative, is the owner of an electric appliance store. At the entrance of the store, a sign shows whether Wir is accepted or not. The Wir's transaction system is basically the same as barter circles among individuals. In place of logbooks, electronic transactions with cards is now possible. After a card system valid for the use of both Wirs and Swiss francs was introduced 4 years ago, the amount of Wirs used in transactions drastically expanded. A variety of businesses, ranging from manufacturing to operating hotels and restaurants, participate in the Wir Cooperative. This brochure introduces goods and services which can be purchased with Wir and tells the percentage of Wir allowed for payment. Wir is a system which can be used simultaneously in transactions with usual currencies. 1 Wir is equivalent to 1 Swiss franc. Gronsmann has been conducting the transactions through Wir for more than 20 years. With 2 employees and 3 apprentices, his store is small in scale, but it is in good operation. He attributes this to his participation to the Wir Economic Circle Cooperative.
Der Wirtschafts-Ring hat mir zusätzliche Kunden eröffnet, also Kunden, die sonst nicht zu mir einkaufen gehen. Wenn das Wir mitspielt, dann spielt auch der Barverkauf mit.
Hervé Dubois, an executive of Wir Bank, talks about the role which Wir plays in the Swiss economy.
80% der Arbeitsplätze in der Schweiz sind Arbeitsplätze von kleinen und mittleren Unternehmen. Und ich glaube, diese Zahl, die beantwortet die Frage. Wie wir sie fördern und unterstützen wollen, indem dass sie durch dieses System erstens einmal einen Mehrumsatz erreichen können und sich gegenseitig durch die systembedingte Solidarität sich gegenseitig Geschäfte treiben miteinander, also gegenseitig berücksichtigen, damit das in einem gewissen Kreis diese Kaufkraft auch bleibt.
Tyrol, Austria. An international meeting featuring the future money system was held at an alpine resort close to Wörgl. The major participants of this meeting were financial specialists and economists, but various specialists from other fields also attended from the United States and from European countries. It was the first step in the realization of Ende's wish to have a summit on a new economic system in which economic specialists and citizens from all over the world would participate, just as in the past the Club of Rome did. The meeting was held for 4 days and facilitated the exchange of information and discussion of issues ranging from the experiment in Wörgl to the situation of worldwide local currency.
So let's take one bill.
Bernard Lietaer was an advisor to multinational enterprises and was known as an international speculator. As a top executive of the Belgian Central Bank, he contributed to the realization of a new currency, the euro. Lietaer eventually started thinking that there would be no future if the economic system went on like this. And based on Gesell's free money theory, he currently suggests the creation of a new world currency.
I believe the core of the issue happens to be the money system. Since 1971, when President Nixon detached the dollar from the gold standard, we have been in a new monetary experiment where there is no historical precedent, i.e. pure fiat currencies, bank debt currencies, only relating to each other without any anchor to the real economy. And that was the first step in a change of the monetary system. It would be worse than the 1930s, because the 1930s were limited basically to the United States and Europe. The rest of the world was only marginally affected and in fact thrived well in some places. We're now having a global system that's in trouble. I believe that different currency systems create different types of relationships. Or traditional, conventional national currencies are competitive, generally. They create competition between people, and actually people compete for the money. If I want to cooperate with you, I will create a currency that actually creates such cooperation. Just like I want to paint, I'll use a paintbrush. If I want to fix a car, I'll use a screwdriver. So there are different tools for different purposes. And I think the key is different relationship types. I believe that the economy of the future is going to be one of relationships. That's the key. And the choice of relationships will determine the type of currency that we should be using.
Die Opfer unseres Systems sind jetzt die Völker der Dritten Welt und es ist die Natur, die die Rechnung bezahlen muss. Nicht, die eben rücksichtslos ausgebeutet wird, damit das System weiter funktioniert. Das eben zu tun, also das Geld so profitbringend wie möglich zu investieren, und dadurch das Kapital zu vermehren und so wachsen. Die müssen die Rechnung dafür bezahlen, denn natürlich kommt dieses Wachstum nicht aus nichts. Wenn nicht die Vernunft den Menschen dazu bewegt, etwas zu ändern, dann werden es die Ereignisse sein. Ich betrachte meine Möglichkeiten als Schriftsteller, die ja sehr gering sind, eigentlich nur unter diesem Gesichtspunkt, dass ich sage, ich versuche Gedanken zu denken, Vorstellungen zu entwickeln, die denen dann möglicherweise etwas helfen können, damit sie nicht den gleichen Fehler nochmal wieder machen und damit sie die Gesellschaft, die dann zwangsläufig sich bilden wird, die ganz anderer Art sein wird. Aber ich glaube, dass es eine Maulschelle sein wird, die die Menschheit bekommt, die ihr noch viele Jahrhunderte lang in den Ohren klingeln wird. Sie denken immer, das Geld sei, ja, da kannst du nichts ändern, das ist halt so. Nein, das ist nicht so, das können wir ändern. Wir haben es gemacht und wir können es ändern.